Hi, and welcome to my education portfolio. My name is Michael Murphy, and I'm currently pursuing a master's degree in teaching with an emphasis as an elementary mathematics specialist. After completing my undergraduate degree in elementary education at Marshall University, I was offered a position in a new tutoring center in Jenkins Hall that specifically focuses on helping students pass the praxis. I currently work as a graduate assistant in Marshall University's College of Education and occasionally as a substitute in Cabell County schools. While my undergraduate degree prepared me for the general elementary classroom, my time in this program has allowed me to specifically be prepared for teaching mathematics to young students. This was done through a focus on 6 goals throughout my coursework. These goals included content within specialization, the learners in learning, planning instruction and assessment, technology and technology integration, social and behavioral research, and professional responsibility. Before this program, mathematics seemed like such a broad and challenging subject to teach, especially considering the negative stigma that surrounded it. Now I am more confident in my own mathematical abilities, as well as my enjoyment of mathematics. This love for learning math will now be able to radiate to my students. This program has also furthered my ability to understand students and complete research within the field of education. When I first chose elementary mathematics specialist as my area of emphasis, it was ironic because I would have never picked that growing up. In fact, I wouldn't have picked it throughout most of my undergraduate career. I didn't hate math, but I was more known and complimented on my writing abilities. I was also more confident in these abilities. This was because when it came to writing about an answer, I could fluff my way out of a total 0 on each question. But with math, things were either right or wrong, and that was really scary for me. But now at the end of my master's program, I'm saying that my area of strength is goal 1, content within specialization. I'm so confident in my ability to understand various mathematical concepts, as well as my ability to use that understanding to teach those concepts to my students in a variety of ways. Through this program, I was reminded of key concepts that I learned long ago, and I was also taught how to present these concepts in a different way to help every student not only learn them, but understand them deeply. This goal encompasses many things: knowledge of subject matter, generating and demonstrating knowledge of the content, incorporating different views about content, and making the content meaningful to the students. The meaning of this goal is to ensure that the student, who will eventually be the teacher, has knowledge about the content that they are specializing in. This knowledge needs to be so deep that they can expand that knowledge to make it more meaningful to the students and incorporate the content in a variety of ways. Because mathematics content should be incorporated in English, social studies, and science. This goal is important to educators for a variety of reasons. One reason is, if we don't understand the concepts we are teaching to students, it's going to be that much more difficult to turn around and actually teach them the concepts. When taught, the students might not fully understand the concept, and if we don't understand it, how are we supposed to get them to understand it? As part of my CIMA 673 clinical, I had to interview the principal of the school where I was completing my practicum. When asked what interfered with teaching mathematics, she said that many of their teachers did not understand math themselves, making it that much harder for the students to understand. This problem isn't just isolated to that elementary school or that area. It is an issue across all elementary schools in all areas. Personally, it is important to me to teach math because it's a subject I didn't feel confident teaching in my undergraduate studies. An artifact that I chose to include is under the subgoal, making content meaningful to the students. I think that this is an important subgoal because if the content isn't meaningful to the students, they aren't going to want to learn it or practice it. It's just going to be something that they've learned once, and then it's going to be wasted in their brain until they forget it. The artifact that I included was completed during the Olympics. Students were assigned 2 to 3 countries that they were responsible for tracking each morning. They were given a website and a chart to track their medal counts. They had to figure out how many metals to add to the graph from the previous day and then cut those metals out. Then they had to tape them to the correct spot on the graph. To complete the graph successfully, students first had to review not only that method of graphing, but different methods to subtract every day. Students really took ownership of this project, and they were very excited to come in every morning and check the statistics of their country to see how many medals they got to add that morning. In fact, many of the students made it into a competition and would get excited about it. But it was a great time in the classroom because not only were they excited about it, but they were excited about doing math and looking at their graph and being able to visualize whose country was winning that day. When considering the goal, which needed the most improvement, it didn't take me long to figure out which one it was. For me, Goal 5, Social and Behavioral Research, immediately came to mind. Social and behavioral research focuses on a variety of things. It involves identifying contextual and professional problems, evaluating research findings and their implications, and it involves protecting the rights of human subjects. This goal is important for educators because social and behavioral factors play such a large role in a child's thinking and learning. If we do not attempt to understand how a certain social or behavioral factor could be affecting or not affecting a child, we will not be able to fully meet the needs of each individual student, thus failing them and it probably not allowing them to learn to the best of their ability. This goal needs the most improvement because it is one that I feel like I haven't truly been able to practice to full scale. I have done research on a small scale or for an individual student by simply looking up articles or reading journals about behaviors or social factors that I see displayed. I have prepared a research proposal, but have not conducted the actual research. It is the goal I have the least confidence in and the goal that I have the least experience in. When thinking about ways to advance my skills and knowledge in this goal, I really think it will come down to me being in my own classroom. Being around a consistent set of students every day will allow me to pinpoint social and behavioral areas that they may be having problems in, which in turn could be impacting their academic performance for a variety of reasons. Once I am in my own classroom, I will have the ability to be more attentive to each student and their needs, allowing me to complete research as needed for students, whether this be formally or informally. My focus for improvement is specifically the sub-goal of identify contextual and professional problems and conduct research. My artifact for this goal was a research proposal I wrote in EDF 621. This artifact is a great example of identifying contextual problems and preparing to conduct the research. However, throughout the process of writing this proposal, I constantly felt lost. Even at the end of the proposal, I was unsure about the work I produced. More than anything, I wish I could have had the opportunity to conduct this research and evaluate my own findings and implications. I have little confidence in my ability to produce another proposal and complete the research. However, the only way to improve on this would be to research more about how to write a proposal and keep writing them, as well as actually conduct the research. I am more confident in my abilities of the other sub-goals in this goal. Those sub-goals include evaluate research findings and related implications, as well as to protect the rights of human subjects by implementing ethical research practices. There are two specific goals that I committed myself to in the future. My first goal is to continuously pursue new and challenging forms and deliveries of technology in the classroom. Right now I have a good grasp on technology, various apps, and how to integrate these with ease into the classroom. However, with how quickly technology evolves, this will not always be the case. I do not want to settle for what is easiest or what I understand. As an educator, I want to continuously seek out opportunities to learn about new technologies and integrate these into my classroom. The second goal that I have committed myself to is utilizing creativity in my classroom. Not all subjects, units, and assignments can be the most fun. However, as an educator, I believe that it is my job to make each one of these as exciting and engaging as possible for the students. I commit myself to using every method of creativity possible to ensure that my students are engaged. This program has had such a positive influence on me. First and foremost, it has made me much more aware of the importance of lifelong learning, as well as reflecting on my practice. As stated earlier, technology and the world around us are constantly evolving. This infiltrates the field of education too. To best serve our students, we must change with the times and do what meets their needs and interests, not what is easiest for us. One way to keep up with trends, technologies, and new methods to bring into the classroom is through learning communities. Learning communities are no longer just other teachers in your school and county. Technology has allowed learning communities to be a global thing. These can be seen through organizations like NCTM or through social media. I have found a lot of fun ways to teach and engage students through social media apps like Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Before this program, I hadn't really considered the importance of learning communities, but now I see their value and honestly wouldn't be the teacher I am today without them.